The first game of the Evansville Open, and I started with f4. My opponent played e6, went knight f3, d5. I actually went b3 first. He played bishop d6, and I fianchettoed. He went knight f6. Then I played e3. He played c5. Bishop to e2, bishop to d7. Castles, castles. Knight to e5, and bishop to e8. Alright, so I just continue developing d3. Knight f to d7, which was a very interesting move. I played queen e1, trying to wrap my queen around bird style. He took, I took back. He went bishop to e7, I played knight to d2. Just going pieces into the game. He played bishop c6. I went queen g3, and he went bishop to h4. I went queen h3, he went bishop g5. Here I played d4 because I wanted to block out his bishop. He took. I took back with my bishop. And the reason I wanted to block out his bishop so much is so I could play rook f3, rook g3, bring my rook into the attack, and just go all out. He went knight d7. I played bishop to d3 first. This was another idea behind d4, by the way. Now, I started in checkmate. He went g6. Here I played knight f3. Bishop to e7 on the board, and then queen to g4. This has a very specific idea, which is to go h4, h5, and then take the pawn. Then his position's collapsing. So here he played f5, try and fight back. I took en passant, and he took back with the knight. Then I took on e6 with check. King h8. Knight e5, threatening everything. He played bishop to e8, trying to cover everything. Here I played queen h3. I'm threatening to take on g6. And he played rook g8 here. But what this does is it leaves one less defender of his knight. So here I went knight to g4. He played bishop to d7. And I played rook takes f6. Which is a miss according to the computer, but I saw this entire line. Bishop takes f6, queen takes f6, and I didn't stop here, and I played queen takes h7. If I take this and he takes here, and this is just equal, so I gained a pawn first. And he played king to g7, and I took his bishop. Because if you're wondering, it's better to win a full piece than to trade off a knight for a rook. So whereas win a full bishop, because a bishop is 3 points, and a rook is 5. And knight's also 3, so I gained 3 points material by taking the bishop. And if I had taken his rook instead, I would have gained 5 points but lost 3. So I only gained 2 points in that scenario. Meanwhile, here I just gained a clean 3 points. Here he played rook a to e8. Here I played a bit of an inaccuracy, king f2, which is a mistake because b6, and he's actually going to be able to trap my knight. I played rook to d1, and he went rook to e7. We had bishop e5 on the board and a6. Then takes, and knight takes b6. Rook to c7. c4, b takes c4, knight takes c4. And this is completely winning for white because white has a knight and 4 pawns for a rook, which is ultimately going to win. Rook f8, king to g3. I regret playing this move, even if it's the best move. Rook c to f7. Just a4. King h6, b4. I decided, no, just push the pawns. He went rook to e8 because he didn't know what else to do. I played b5. He went rook to e4. I went rook to c5. He went g4, g5. And I went a5. Here he played king h5, and I I hate myself for playing this move. b6. Like, the reason... And then now this is just a draw, but it's perpetual. So that's how the game ended. But, like, the reason I missed this is I was looking for ways to try and checkmate me, not perpetual. And I was very mad after this game. So game 1 ended in a draw, but I should have easily won. I had the black pieces, and I played a Sicilian defense. F3, D6, and C3, the delayed alpin, which is very annoying. Knight F6, D3, and I played E6 here. He went bishop to G5, and I played bishop to E7. Knight B2, and I saw nothing wrong with just castling here. So I decided just castle. Played bishop B2, and I played knight B to D7. And then he castled, and I played queen C7. He played rook C1, and I decided to strike back in the center and play D5. And he took my knight, and I took back with my bishop. And he took on C5, and I took back, and here he played D4. And I really like to look at this move C4, and yeah, top engine move, because it just cuts off his pieces. And it's just a pretty good position to play. Because now I've got a lot more space on the queen side. Well, he went rook e1, and I played b5 here, just trying to expand on the queen side. He went knight f1, trying to potentially reroute his knight. And I went knight b6, trying another top engine move. Wow, it's like, what's that, 3 in a row? He went queen d2, and I went bishop to d7. I wanted to keep on expanding. He went knight g3, looking for potential reroutes. I played g6, just stopped all of that. He went bishop to d1. I played rook f to e8. He played bishop c2, but I felt like this bishop wasn't very good. So I played a5, just wanting to expand on the queen side. We had a trade. He went rook e1, and I just went queen to d6 here. Because I didn't really see anything wrong. He took, and then he played queen to e3. And then I played bishop d7, and he went knight to e5. So he's got a pretty good knight, but I decided to just play b4 here. Just keep on expanding on the queen side. And he went knight e2, and I made a decision to just take on c3. He took back with his queen, and I played queen to b4 here, offering a queen trade. Played knight f4, which is apparently a mistake. I took on e5. He took back. And then I took on c3. Oh, and apparently this is d4. And if he moves his queen anywhere, this is mate. And if he takes this, then these pawns are very strong. I decided to just take his queen again, and he took back. I just played bishop to e6, and then he played h4, and I played knight to d7, attacking his pawn. He took my bishop, I took back, and then he played f4. I went king to f7. He played g4. I went knight to c5. He played king f2, and I played h5, which I regret playing this move. Takes, because now I've got this permanent weakness. No, he played king to e3, which is winning. Because now, this is lost. I played knight d7 out of desperation. King d4. King g7. I was trying my hardest, but this is lost. He played f5. And I think my king back to f7, just knowing that I was just going to lose. He played f6, and I played knight f8, just trying to hold on. Bishop d1 on the board. King g6. King c5. King f5, just desperate, trying to gain counterplay in any way. King d6. Knight g6, I was just begging for mercy. F7. Like, I realized bishop c2 won the knight, but he played f7 instead. I played knight f8, just begging for my mercy, for mercy again. He took on h5, and I played d4. So I had desperation. King e7. I took on c3, just trying. Bishop d1. Knight g6 check, and he just played king e8. I played king 65. He played h5, and I resigned because there's nothing I can do. This was a pretty sad game. This game went a bit better. I started with b3. I went e5. I went bishop to e2, and he played d6. And I played c4 here. So that's a core idea when they play d6. Just control d5 because that's a weakness. Knight f6, knight c3. c6, e3, and bishop to f5. And I decided just keep developing bishop to e2. He went for this, which just doesn't really work after d3. Bishop to e7, knight f3, and then we both castled. Just be safe. And I knew I just have this extra move a3 at any time, so he's played knight c6, just trying to avoid it. And I just calmly played d4 here because I felt like I had to at some point. And he surprised me by taking that. I took back with my knight. He took, and here taking back with the pawn's good, but if you watch, if you haven't watched my video on the Murfreesboro Open, please watch it if you haven't already. I've got bad memories taking back like this and allowing d5, so I took back with my queen. Look, top engine move. I've got bad memories of like this. Like an international master took my soul when I allowed this against him. That's why I took back with my queen, and I have a pretty big advantage. Here he played c6, which it's not like a bad move. And I decided to just play e4 here because I thought there's nothing really wrong with it, and it takes more space in the center. Bishop g6, and I said, you know what, let's take even more space. He played bishop to h5. I decided to just bring my rook to the center file and just completely ignore it. He took, and I took back my knight, and now something you notice is that his knight is tied to that square, but if he moves it, unless it's here, then he gets checkmated. That was another benefit taking back with the queen. He played queen to b6 here, and I decided to just take that. And now I have to play either a3 or a4. I decided to go with a4 in the game for wait, no. I played knight c3. And he went d5. No, he played rook fd8. Then I played a4 for this. One, I want to stop him from playing b5 at any point in the near future, and two, I want to expand on the light squares because that's how you play an opposite card bishop. That's how you play same card bishop endgame. Here he played d5, which computer says it's a bad move, but taking the pawn was very scary, and I did take. And he played bishop c5 check, and I stepped my king over. But here he played knight g4, and this is actually pretty scary. I played rook d2 to defend. He went rook to e8. And here I played knight d1. Now here I'm safe, but after I took the pawn, I was actually very scared that I blundered something. He played rook to e7. And I said, you know what? Get him out. Get this scary knight out of my position. Knight f6, and I snap took it. Gf6, and I took on c6, which is apparently wrong. He took back, and I was like, you know what? Get my knight off the back rank. Knight f2, let's go. Rook a to e8. Knight g4, which is wrong, because then I realized why almost immediately after. He played king g7. Then I realized something. F4 is loose. King h2, he played h5 here. And knight f2. Now, you see the problem with h5? Bishop to e3. Rook d3, bishop takes a 4 check. g3, bishop back to e3. King g2 and bishop c5. It's a bit scary, but it's still possible. And here I played knight d1, just trying to stop him from getting in. He played rook e2 check. King f3, rook h2 on the board. h4. And he brings in the other rook. What? Oh, yeah. Rook e5 does look winning. Okay. Here I played g4. So I feel like I had no other option. Take, and rook to e6. And now I'm actually fine. Wait. He played this. And here I played g4, because I felt like it was the only way to survive. And then he had takes, and rook to e6. King h3, and bishop to d6. Rook f2, rook e1. Why is that a blunder? I played rook g2 check. He played king h6. Wait. Okay, he played this rook to e6. I gotta stop making mistakes like this. And here I played king h3, just trying to escape my king. And here he played bishop to d6. And I played rook f2, trying to trade rooks. Rook e1. Rook g2 check. King h6, and knight f2. Finally, like, my knight's safe, and now it's just a game. And here he played f5, like stopping any knight g4 tricks. I played rook g5 trying to target the weakness he made. And he played this. Take, and king to g2. And he played f6, and I took. And here he played king g6, which I completely missed. Rook takes f6. And instead played this. Rook f3, and he went rook e2. King f1. And rook to e5. Knight g4, attacking the rook and the pawn. Play this to try and tie up some of his pieces. He went rook f5. And I played h5. King g5, rook takes, king takes. h6, king g6, h7, king takes h7, knight takes f6 check, king to g6, and knight to e4, which is apparently wrong. And now I've got to win this endgame, which is actually harder than it looks. King d2, and king f5, king to d3, bring my king closer. King to e5, but now, like, it looks like I can't win, and I probably can't. I played knight c3 here, just trying to actually reroute it to a2 and then play b4 and try and win. He played king back to f5. I went knight a2. He went bishop to d6. I went b4, trying to find a way to win. King to e5. King c3. King to e4. Knight c1. Bishop to e5 check. King b3. King e3. a5 take, and bishop to d4. King b4. Bishop a7. Knight b3. King e4. a6. King e5. I move my knight. King to d6. Knight e4 check. King c7. c5. Apparently the only winning move. King d7. King to c4. King to e6. Knight to d6. Bishop to b8, which is apparently a blunder. After knight c8, king d7, and a7. And if you take my knight, then I queen. So he took my pawn, but this isn't actually as simple as it looks. I think I played king to b4 here, and he went king to b7. And I thought this was winning, because I have the opposition. But it's a draw because of this. But he played this, and now it's winning because of this. And he resigned. So after 3 games, I had 1.5 out of 3, which isn't too bad. In round 4, in the final round, my opponent played the tea and crumpets attack, and if you call this by any other name, you are banned. Because this is the tea and crumpets attack. I don't care what anyone says. Bishop d7, h3. I castled e3, d6. King's Indian, superior, best thing ever. Knight b to d2. Knight b to d7. Bishop c4, and queen to e8. Queen to e8. This is my line against the tea and crumpets attack. He castled. I played e5. He went bishop h2, and I went e4. He played knight e1 because he didn't really have much of a choice. Here I played d5. I really like this move because it attacks his bishop and stabilizes my center, but it opened up his bishop, which I really regretted in a second. Because now I have played this, because if I play c6, then bishop d6 traps my rook. He played f3, and I took. He played knight e takes f3. And I played c6 here, just defend my center. He went c4, and I decided to just take that. I don't care. I take c4, and I played knight b6, and then I opened up the a file. Rook c1, but I didn't really think this was a good move because c6 is very well protected. So I played queen e7, attacking his weakness, and I would just pile on it for us. I played bishop to e6 here. Another trade. Now that's weakness. So we played a3, and then I just calmly played this. He went bishop to e5, and I played knight e4. Centralized my knight, and it ended trade off his bishop. He went rook f to e1, and I played f6. Kick his bishop out. Bishop c7. And I played b5 here. Just take some space and disable the pawn. He went knight d2, and I played bishop h6. Then he took, and now e3 is hanging. And how do you defend e3? In the game, he tried this. I played rook to f7 with a very clear purpose. He played bishop g3, and I doubled up the rooks, right? Yeah, I doubled up the rooks. He played bishop f2, and I took the pawn. And he thought for a while on this side, just take the queen. And I responded by taking his. Someone came by and started watching my game against this person, and when he saw this, at first made a hand motion like, "Bro, are you stupid?" And then he looked at it for longer, then did a thumbs up when he realized the idea. Basically, two. He went d5, and I played rook takes b2. Takes, and bishop f4, the very move that he played that marks my pain. The tea and crumpets attack. g3. Bishop to e5. Bishop c5. And I played bishop takes g3. Which is wrong due to this. And I played rook c2 here. Just try and do something. He played bishop e4, and I realized that this is likely going to be a drawn endgame. And here, and I played king to g7 here. And he moves in. He almost played rook here and blundered bishop f2. Almost. Unfortunately, he made life harder for me and played this. I played bishop e5, and here I was like, it's probably only a draw. And I was very sad. He played rook d3. And I played g5, just trying to win. And this dude basically guaranteed it was a draw by playing this. Bishop f4, and he took here. I played h5, and here he blundered his rook and then resigned. And I felt bad, so I did apologize to him after the game for taking that game from him, because he would have actually won money if he had won or drawn this game. I honestly felt bad. So I reversed my bad memories in Evansville. And now I've got some good memories because I won some money from this tournament.